Hello. As Melissa mentioned, I'm standing in for Reggie Workman, and I want to just note for the record that he spent a lot of time practicing, and he was indeed here since 2 o'clock, and I'm really sorry that he's not here because he would have done a way more kick-ass job than I'm about to do on this testimony, but I will do my best standing in for him. My name is Reggie Workman, and I'm a proud KIPP DC parent and board representative. I am a DC native, Ward 8 resident, and I have been a KIPP DC parent for 7 years. My daughter Delaney is currently a 9th grader at KCP. When KIPP DC's staff told me about this bill and the opportunity to testify today, I was surprised for 2 reasons. First, I was surprised that there were no meaningful opportunities for a DC parent to provide feedback on this legislation before it was introduced. I am an active and involved parent. I care deeply about public education in this city, so I was extremely disappointed when I learned that no working groups were held that were targeted towards DC families. A bill this important with such broad impacts should not be passed without meaningful input from DC families. Second, I was surprised by how this bill would limit the ability of school staff, such as those in my daughter's school at KIPP College Prep, who I trust to protect students. There is nothing I care more about than keeping my child safe. As written, the bill limits suspensions for students in 9th through 12th grade to 10 consecutive days and 20 total days, and prohibits expulsions except in instances of serious bodily injury or emotional distress or where otherwise required by law. The bill defines the term serious bodily injury to mean an injury that involves substantial risk of death, unconsciousness, extreme physical pain, protracted and obvious disfigurement, or protracted loss or impairment of the function of bodily member, organ, or mental faculty. So what happens if a 9th grader at my daughter's school has already been suspended for 20 days for repeated incidents and then sends text messages to friends saying she's going to pull a knife on my daughter? Let's say the school caught these messages early, so my daughter had not heard about the text messages yet. If you think the 9th grader should be suspended, she can't, because she's already hit the 20-day maximum. If you think the 9th grader should be expelled, she can't, because my daughter has not yet been knocked out, disfigured, lost bodily function, suffered extreme pain, almost killed, or experienced emotional distress. Is the idea that schools need to wait for something like that to happen? I struggle to understand how a restriction like this benefits and supports keeping my daughter safe or any other DC student and family. Finally, as a parent on KIPP DC's board, I see more than just what goes on at my daughter's school. And I want to say this: KIPP DC, like most schools, is constantly thinking about how to improve its discipline practices and keeps kids in school as much as possible. For educators who are already trying to solve this complex issue, this legislation only ties their hands and complicates the matter further. So in summary, this legislation needs more input from our parents, our schools need to be able to protect our kids, and schools that are already working on this should be given a lot more credit.